हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, हाउ आर यू? कैसे चल रहा है टाइम? सिंसियरली पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं? ओके, दैट्स गुड. आई गॉट द notes of few students. Keep on making the notes and we will utilize this golden opportunity for studying thoroughly each and every topic as well as the concept. So let's begin. So today we will start with the sexual reproduction. So first, few terms we have to check. Here on the screen you are able to see breeding of the animals. On the basis of a time breeding, animals are of two types: seasonal breeders and continuous breeder. Seasonal breeders means they reproduce at a particular period of the year, such as frog, lizard, most birds and deer. Simply it means some animals breeds only in a particular season. So that's why they are classified as a seasonal breeder. But few animals, they do not need any season. They can reproduce at any time. So such animals are termed as a continuous breeder. These animals continue to breed throughout their sexual maturity. Examples are honeybees, quail, poultry, rabbits, mice, cattle, etc. Now, cyclical changes during the reproduction. Now here you are able to see on the screen there are some cyclical changes during the reproduction: ostrich cycles and menstrual cycle. Here non-primates mammals and the primate mammals. Primate mammals are the monkeys, apes and humans, and non-primates are the mammals, cows, sheep, dog and tiger. Now first we will start studying what are the different events of a sexual reproduction. So basically sexual reproduction needs to be classified into three categories: pre-fertilization period, fertilization process and post-fertilization process. So you understand what I wanted to say? For the production of the organism, three stages for the convenience it is divided. First one is pre-fertilization, then fertilization and third post-fertilization. We will see one by one. Pre-fertilization events means before the fertilization, what are the things, what are the changes which are needed into the body. So first one is gametogenesis. What is gametogenesis? So gametogenesis is nothing but a process formation of the gametes. Male gamete, that is the sperm, and female gamete is ova. So these gametes to be formed inside the body, and then once the gamete is formed, they are transferred. Male gametes are transferred to the female body. So these are the pre-fertilization events: gametogenesis and gamete transfer. Once the gametes are formed, then they mature and they entered or they are transferred to the female body. That is nothing but a internal and external fertilization. We already studied in class 11th. Okay, so what are the two events of the pre-fertilization? Gametogenesis and gamete transfer. Now gametogenesis. What is gametogenesis? Gametogenesis is nothing but the process of formation of a male and female gametes. There are two types of gametes: isogametes, homogametes and heterogametes. You already know homo means similar. The gametes, two similar gametes in appearance cannot categorize into male and female. So cladopoda is the example of homogametes, means two similar gamete fuses and they produces the body. Heterogametes means two different type, morphologically different types of gametes fuse to form the body. So that is nothing but a heterogametes. Male gamete is called anthrozoids or sperm, and female gametes are called egg, ova, example fucus and a human being. Now sexuality in an organism: homothallic or monoecious. You already these terms studied in class 11 biodiversity. You have to recall these very nicely. Homothallic and monoecious. Mono means one, homo means similar. Homothallic, thallic means on a single branch or on a same thallus, similar thallus, single branch, single body, or monoecious in a single body. Terms used to describe the bisexual condition of a plant. In a single body, both male and female gametes are formed. Bisexual animals, flowers, hibiscus is the example of a bisexual flower, as well as the earthworm is the example of a bisexual. Heterothallic means two different branches, two different places. Dioecious is the term used to describe unisexual condition, means two different types of a sexes present on a different area or places or different branches. Now staminate, unisexual male flower bearing stamens. Stamen, the flower which contain the stamens. Stamens is nothing but a male reproductive gametophyte of the flower. Pistil or carpel is the female gametophyte or a female flower. They are unisexual, pistillate. Now monoecious. Both male and female flowers may be present on the same individual, is termed as monoecious, and examples of monoecious are coconuts and cucurbits. Next one is dioecious, means both the male and female flowers may be present on a different individual. Example, papaya and date palm. Now, how the gametes are formed? We already studied in class 11 cell division, that is mitosis and meiosis, and sperms and the gametes are formed through the meiosis. Parental body of organisms like Monera, fungi, algae, bryophytes is haploid. Haploid means single set of a chromosome. They produce gametes by mitotic division. Parental body of organism like pteridophytes, gymnosperm, angiosperm, and most of the animals including human beings is diploid. They produce the gametes by meiotic cell division, meiosis, which helps in a formation of gametes. In diploid organisms, specialized cells called meiocytes or gamete mother cell undergoes for the meiosis. Now the third type, once we are studying the pre-fertilization events, formation of the gametes and then gamete transfer. In majority of organism, male gamete is motile, whereas female is stationary or stable. Exceptions, a few fungi and algae, both types of gametes are motile. A medium is required through which the male gametes move. In algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, water is the medium for the gamete transfer. To compensate loss of a male gamete during the transport, the number of a male gamete produces several thousand times the number in a female gametes produced. Now coming to the next process of the gamete transfer, that is in plants for pollination. Pollination, what is pollination? Pollination is nothing but the process of transfer of a pollen grain from one flower to another flower or from anther to stigma. Here you must remember, anther is the male gametophyte structure and stigma is the female gametophytic structure. So transfer of a pollen grain from male flower to female flower or from anther to stigma is called as pollination. There are two types of pollination, self-pollination and cross-pollination. Pollen grains germinate on the stigma and the pollen tubes carrying the male gamete reach the ovule and discharge male gametes near the flower. Now see, we already studied the fertilization process in a flowering plants. Only they have shown in through the diagram. Pollination, pollen tube is formed, then fusion of a pollen tube contain a male gamete, they fuses, they entered into the female embryo sac, then fuses with the female gametophyte. That process is termed as syngamy. Now fertilization process. Fertilization is nothing but a fusion between a male and female gamete. So there are different types of fertilization. Parthenogenesis. Some female gametes undergo the development of a new organism without fertilization. This is termed as parthenogenesis. Example, honeybees, turkey and rotifers are the example of parthenogenesis. Parthenogenesis simply development of a new organism without the fertilization. Remember children. Now coming to the types of fertilization, external fertilization and internal fertilization. When fertilization takes place inside the female body, it is termed as internal fertilization, and when fertilization takes place outside the body, termed as external fertilization, which already we studied. Now post-fertilization events. Events in the sexual reproduction after the formation of a zygote are called post-fertilization events. Formation of a diploid zygote in organism belonging to the fungi and algae. Zygote develops a thick wall that is resistant to desiccation and damage. It undergoes a period of rest before germination. Now embryogenesis. Once the gametes are transferred, enter in a female body, then the development, zygote is formed, then development of a embryo takes place. That is termed as embryogenesis. What is embryo? After the male and female gametes develop, zygote is formed, then they grow for the reproductive body, that is embryo, and the formation of embryo is termed as embryogenesis. The process of development of an embryo from the zygote is called embryogenesis. Zygote, then it go for a mitotic division, then it go for a cell differentiation, then specialized tissues are formed, then specialized tissues convert into organs, then organ to organ system, and then organism's body. Okay. Now here you are able to see there are different types of animals, oviparous and viviparous. Ovi, the animals who lays the eggs, and viviparous, they give directly birth to the young ones. Oviparous, example hen, viviparous, all mammals. Now the development of the zygote, oviparous and viviparous. Fertilized eggs are converted by the hard calcium containing shell which laid in a safe place in the environment, and young ones hatch out after a period of incubation. Viviparous are the proper embryonic care and the protection causes greater survival chances of the young ones in a viviparous animals. Now zygote in a flowering plant. Zygote is formed inside the ovule of a flowering plant after the fertilization. Sepals, petals, stamens of the flower wither or fall off. Zygote changes into embryo, ovules into seeds, ovary into fruit, thick wall into fruit. We already studied this fertilization process in the plants. Now children, recall these things very nicely, and we will come up with the next video.